Immortality via DNA backup. Die today, live in 2120. Welcome back. I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Quantum Human series. What if dying no longer meant disappearing? What if your body, your memories, and your identity could be frozen, backed up, and stored until the science to revive you catches up? In this video, we're exploring the rapidly evolving world of DNA backups, digital immortality, and the businesses preparing to help you live again in the next century. The concept isn't new. Cryonics, the freezing of bodies or brains after legal death, has existed since the 1960s. But for most of that time, it's been treated as fringe science. Now, thanks to advancements in genetic preservation, brain mapping, and biocompatible storage, it's being taken seriously by biotech investors, AI developers, and a new generation of futurists who believe death is a data problem, not a permanent state. Let's start with what's currently possible. Companies like Alcor and Tomorrow Bio offer whole body or neuropreservation services. For a fee, you can have your body or just your brain cryopreserved after death. The process involves replacing blood with cryoprotectants and cooling the tissue to 196 degrees Celsius in liquid nitrogen. The hope is that future technology will be able to reverse damage, regrow tissues, and reanimate the preserved system. So far, no one has been revived, but the infrastructure is expanding. Alcor alone stores hundreds of clients, including tech billionaires and academics who see it as a long-term bet on future medicine. But cryonics is only one part of the picture. The new frontier is biological data preservation, capturing the essence of a person at the molecular, genetic, and informational level. Several startups now offer DNA banking, allowing individuals to store their full genomic sequence, stem cells, or even full blood samples for future use. These can be used for cloning, regenerative medicine, or reconstruction. The logic is simple. If your body fails, future tech may be able to rebuild it, from the DNA blueprint up. This ties directly into brain preservation. The group Nectomy, funded in part by federal grants and formerly associated with MIT, has developed a technique for chemical fixation of brain tissue that preserves microscopic structures down to the synaptic level. Their stated goal is not revival of biological function, but upload, digitizing the preserved brain to extract memory, personality, and cognition. If successful, this would allow a brain to be scanned, simulated, and potentially reanimated inside a synthetic system. And now the convergence is here. DNA plus brain maps plus AI. Companies like LifeNaut, Cryopreserve, and a few under-the-radar labs in Eastern Europe are working to integrate genetic backups with personality profiles, neural data, and digital avatars. The model is this. Store your DNA. Store your voice. Store your writings, habits, photos, and behavior logs. Combine it with a detailed brain scan, if not now, then after death, and hand it all to an AI system trained to recreate behavioral patterns. The result? A synthetic resurrection, grounded in biological and computational data. It may sound far-fetched, but it's already happening in steps. AI avatars based on deceased individuals now exist, trained on text messages, videos, and social media posts. One startup called Hereafter AI creates interactive voice avatars of deceased family members, allowing relatives to speak with them posthumously. These are crude imitations now, but as AI improves and DNA becomes part of the dataset, realism will increase. And here's where DNA matters most: biological reinstantiation. Even if you're digitally resurrected, the real goal for many futurists is biological continuity, returning to a physical body. With stem cell technologies and 3D bioprinting, the foundation is being laid for that possibility. In 2023, scientists printed a functioning miniature human heart using living cells. Synthetic skin, bone, and muscle are already in trials. Add your preserved DNA and you get a framework for organ regeneration. But what about the brain? That's where things are murkier. Preserving structure is one thing, recreating consciousness is another. Some believe consciousness is an emergent property of brain complexity, and that once all the circuitry is restored, awareness may resume. Others argue that digital simulation is good enough, that a sufficiently accurate copy is functionally you. Either way, companies are preparing for both outcomes. There's also a legal side. Who owns your backup? If your DNA, brain scan, and personality profile are stored by a company, what happens when you return? Do you retain property, rights, citizenship? None of these questions have been resolved. Some futurists are calling for pre-death contracts, documents that outline your intent, assets, and desires for reintegration. These would function like wills, but for synthetic futures. And then there's the immortality arms race. Billionaire investors are pouring money into longevity and preservation technology. Jeff Bezos funds Altos Labs, which focuses on cellular rejuvenation. Google's Calico is investing in age reversal. Russian entrepreneur Dmitry Itskov founded the 2045 initiative, aiming to transfer human consciousness into a synthetic body within decades. The underlying belief? Death is solvable. But what happens if it is? Who gets to return? Only the wealthy? Only the early adopters? Will DNA backup become a human right or a luxury good? And if multiple versions of a person exist, biological, digital, synthetic, who is the real one? Let's also talk about data decay. Unlike traditional servers, DNA storage, if done properly, can last for centuries. But the metadata around that DNA, memories, thoughts, behaviors, is harder to preserve. Some startups are encouraging users to live stream their lives into backup engines. Every email, conversation, and decision becomes training data. The goal? To preserve not just the genetic code, but the personality matrix. Critics warn of dystopian outcomes, state-controlled resurrection, AI-imposed versions of people, black market revivals of powerful figures for manipulation. These are not science fiction plots. They're real ethical debates being held in Silicon Valley, Beijing, and Geneva. At the root of all this is a shift in how we define death. If your DNA is stored, your brain mapped, and your behaviors replicated, are you dead or just inactive? LifeNaut's motto is telling: you may die, but your data doesn't have to. The future of death will involve options. Some will choose oblivion. Others will choose cryo. Others still will opt for neural upload, AI integration, or full-body reconstruction when technology allows. But make no mistake, death as a permanent event is being challenged, and the battleground isn't spiritual, it's technical. Molecules, storage, interfaces, simulation. This isn't the dream of living forever. It's the strategy of returning, on file, on standby, on ice. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing, and no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones, the replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans, the merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.